What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about why there was no Mario Kart 9 announcement at E3 2019. More importantly, from Nintendo's Direct at E3. Now, Nintendo, in my opinion, and if you guys go back and you watch a couple of the videos on the channel throughout this week, you'll know that we weren't really impressed at all about E3. But one thing I did kind of admire and liked to a decent extent, at least, was Nintendo's press conference. Nintendo, I think, in the Nintendo Direct, I feel like did the most cohesive job at a press conference. Ubisoft, I feel like, had the biggest game. The Watch Dogs reveal was very, very cool. I think it was the biggest new game announced at E3 in terms of full-on announcements. Now, I'll get to, obviously, what Nintendo did. But when you look at it past that, I mean, Ubisoft's conference wasn't very good besides it. Bethesda's was awful. Square Enix's was very, very unimpressive, especially even from Marvel's Avengers, I thought personally, and I think a good amount of the internet did as well. Microsoft's hugely underwhelming. You keep going through these conferences and it's like, okay, did they even need to be there? Were there even enough announcements? Nintendo, when you look at what they did with the Nintendo Direct, even having a couple days, even having like 2 different Directs and showing gameplay and talking about their games, they did a lot of great things. They announced quite a few games. They announced some indie games, some smaller games coming out through the summer. They showed more Mario Maker 2. They showed a lot of cool games. They announced, obviously, Breath of the Wild 2 is in fact in development and showed a quick teaser. I thought that was really, really awesome. I had predicted that, or at least talked about that in a video leading up to E3. I asked, is there a second Breath of the Wild in development? And I was actually right about that. So, that's kind of cool. However, one thing I also talked about, and we got Animal Crossing's delay, which kind of sucks, but another game I talked about leading into it was Mario Kart 9. And I feel like because of Legend of Zelda, it's weird why there wasn't a Mario Kart 9 announcement, because when you look at Mario Kart, that came out in 2017, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as well as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So you have the same amount of time from these 2 games, and I know, and I talked about it in both those last videos, so I'm kind of recapping in terms of just a little bit of the past things I've said. When you look at Legend of Zelda, Zelda has always been kind of that mascot of Nintendo. Obviously Mario, Mario himself, the Super Mario games. Mario is a huge, huge icon. He is what Nintendo is, right? But when you think of the games, when you think of the polish, when you think of how high review scores are for your game, all that kind of stuff, you do tend to think of Legend of Zelda, right? For a Nintendo product. Mario Kart is not really the same level, I think. However, Mario Kart is the most selling game on the Nintendo Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the highest selling game on the Nintendo Switch, and obviously even in the past history of Nintendo, one of the best selling games they've ever had. So when you look at that game, it's a very, very important franchise for them, the Mario Kart kind of icon, right? Because I think when other racing games come out, we're just about to get Crash Team Racing, we got Sonic Team Racing. One of the things a lot of people normally ask when those games come out is they compare it to Mario Kart. Is it as fun? Is it kind of as easy to jump in and play? When you play a Mario Kart game, it has that kind of feel to it where you can kind of just jump in. So there's a lot of, similarities and things that people will jump to and say, well, is it like this? That happens a lot with these games, and it's because Mario Kart is such a big figure, especially in the racing genre, right? It's so popular. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it was kind of expected and maybe hoped, and obviously a huge deal that they say, hey, we're working on a Legend of Zelda 2 or Breath of the Wild 2, here's the teaser, and people, lost their mind. Well, oh my god, going to be double as big, all this stuff, it's going to be amazing. People jump to that, and I get it, because Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a very good game, and obviously it got a lot of awards, and a lot of people love it, but at the same time, couldn't you have said, if you do that, you open up the door to have those loose kind of teasers or announcements for the far out future of your other game franchises? So why couldn't you have said Mario Kart 9 is also in development and here's a teaser for it? Now I know you race karts, it's a racing game and there's tracks and that's it. And at the same time, when I say that, it actually makes it easier to understand of why haven't we gotten an announcement thus far. I know there was a lot of rumors. I went on the internet, kind of on Reddit and other things, and there are a lot of people speculating that 2020 is the year of Mario Kart 9. And the question is, would they just announce it and kind of have it come out within 6 months of an announcement? They could, yeah, but why did they announce Breath of the Wild 2 then? Because that game's not going to come out for probably a year and a half in the absolute minimum. I really do think that game's not going to come out till maybe next spring, but I really think probably next fall. So you have that as an announcement. Why couldn't you have Mario Kart? And again, they both came out the same year, and it's been just as long from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to Mario Kart 9 as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to Breath of the Wild 2. Like, as of right now, it's the same amount of time. You also have the fact that, again, it's a Mario Kart game, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was kind of just a combination of tracks from all of these different genres. Obviously, yes, they worked on the game, right? They had to increase the visuals. They had to, go back and work on the actual gameplay. They did do work on it. It's not like they literally ported it over, but at the same time, if you're making a Mario Kart 9, I get that you would probably have to start from basically scratch. I mean, you have to make, maybe you add even more characters. You obviously have to completely make new maps. Maybe you want to take all of the maps and characters and customization options, all that stuff from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, but you have a lot to work with. You could probably even use the engine you use for Mario Kart 8. So you have all of these things, and it's like it honestly shouldn't take that long. If the same team that's making 8 Deluxe is making 9, does it take 3 years to make it? And it probably does, but at the same time, why can't you announce it now? So, it's not like the biggest thing in the world. It's not like I absolutely expected a Mario Kart 9 announcement at E3. I think, again, Nintendo did the most cohesive job at a Nintendo Direct. They had game announcements. They showed games we already know, right? They showed Ultimate Alliance 3, showed Mario Maker 2. They showed these games we know. They announced some new games. They tease us with some of their biggest games, right? And we know they're making a Metroid, and we know Bayonetta 3 is doing very well in development, so we know those kind of things. But Mario Kart is a huge thing, and same thing with even a Mario Odyssey. I feel like it's going to be almost time that we start to hear about a new Mario Odyssey game. So it's like they have more things, and obviously Nintendo Directs can happen whenever they want, and they could be really, really big, and they can they can kind of be their own, and they can make them very special. So I don't rule out the fact that it's possible maybe August, September they do a Nintendo Direct and they announce it at the end of it or beginning of it. They could do that. They have the power to do that, and that's honestly why I like Nintendo Direct so much, is they can just bypass these E3 things. It's just something that I thought could happen that didn't happen. I wanted to talk about why with you guys. So let me know, guys, did you think there was going to be a Mario Kart 9 announcement? And now that there hasn't been, there wasn't one at E3, when do you think we're going to get an announcement for Mario Kart 9? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and we make videos about games, about all these kind of entertainment topics every single day. So if you guys are into that, make sure you stay tuned with us, and you can bet when Mario Kart 9 does get announced, we will be covering it as well as when the game actually releases. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.